Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Ketcham Elementary School, those of you that have been here recently, and welcome to Ketcham Elementary School for those of you that are here for the first time. After a long process of community engagement, building renovations, and more, I'm super proud to announce today that what started as an idea here in DC Public Schools to educate infants and toddlers here at Ketcham Elementary School is finally becoming a reality for our community. I want to first thank Mayor Bowser for your commitment to education and ensuring that we're focused on supporting our earliest and youngest learners. I would also like to welcome Dr. Ferebee to Ketcham Elementary School for his first visit here during school hours. So we're very excited to have him here during this very joyous time, not only for our school, but for our community as well. Our motto here at Ketcham Elementary School for the past 6 years since I've been here has been our students, our future, our responsibility. And it's our promise that we make to families that we serve daily and a reminder about how we view our work with the community. The Child Development Center that we have here that we're doing the ribbon cutting on today presents an amazing opportunity, not only for our families that are currently here, but families in the community. We have the potential to be with students that enroll in this early learning center for 10 years. From birth, 6 weeks, but birth, we'll say birth, all the way to the 10th grade. And that's 10 years of high quality instruction, 10 years of partnering with families as they come into our community, and 10 years of rigorous and joyful learning experiences that we're excited to kick off today. So we're excited not only to welcome you all here, but we're excited to welcome all of the young people that will be here in Ketcham and joining the DC Public Schools family and this addition to our school building. So please join me in saying thank you and also welcoming Mayor Bowser to the podium. Thank you.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm really excited to be back here at Ketcham. I was recalling just a few weeks back when we took that picture, and I had a big check for Principal Riddlesberger, where she was being acknowledged for her exemplary leadership of this school community, and she will be honored further at standing ovation. Give Principal Riddlesberger a big, big round of applause. I also want to acknowledge the boys and girls who are here, who helped this school community achieve and who are excellent leaders themselves for their fellow classmates, their brothers and sisters, and the boys and girls in the neighborhood. So let's hear it for the Ketcham students. And I'm always pleased to be joined by Dr. Lewis Ferebee, who is wrapping up his first month as the DCPS Chancellor. And I think also tonight marks his first public hearing. And we want to wish, though he doesn't need it, our Chancellor best wishes for his hearing tonight. I think it's going to be in Ward 7. So give a big welcome to Dr. Ferebee. Superintendent Kang, Deputy Mayor Kine, and all of you. So we know that Ketcham is a bold improvement school. The leadership here has high expectations of the children, and each and every year they're pushing the children to even higher levels of achievement. And as you heard from the principal, we are expanding our reach and making our way to reaching another goal that I set for the city. And that is the creation of 1,000 new infant and toddler child care seats in Washington, D.C. And that's a good thing. I'm proud of the progress we're making, but I also recognize that we have a lot of work to do. Part of the transformation of Washington, D.C. has been our commitment to families, to transforming D.C. public schools, but we also know that the education of our young people starts before we get them in pre-K 3. It starts from birth, and all of the programs that we can help make child care affordable, more accessible across all 8 wards, and of even higher quality. The better we help parents afford to stay in DC, and the better we help our children be more prepared when they walk through our doors at pre-K 3. You probably know that we started a new program modeled after a successful federal program that made child care facilities available in public buildings. I'm not talking about schools now. I'm talking about other public buildings that are in our control, where we can make it a little bit less expensive for child care providers to go into spaces where we have basically subsidized the space so that the operations would be on the operator. And we have another example here of another model of opening child care sites in public school buildings. And because we are opening this site, we will have many new high quality seats available right here in this neighborhood. Especially helpful for families who already have a child here at Ketcham. They can get one stop. Child care in the Early Child Care Center. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love it. And the kids can get dropped off from school. These also have other benefits of parents not having to make multiple stops, add to traffic congestion and their anxiety in the morning. All good things. And so I also I'm proud that a DC resident and Ketcham parent will serve here as a teacher. Ms. Robinson, is Ms. Robinson here? We are grateful to Ms. Robinson. Hi, Ms. Robinson. And I also believe Ms. Coleman is going to be a teacher here. There's Ms. Coleman right in the front. The curriculum at this child care center, which is one of my, the things that I like to pay attention to, because it's one thing to have child care seats, and it is mine and the superintendent's focus at making sure those child care seats are aligned with education. So while we have the children, we are aligning what they're learning in these child care seats with what Principal Rittersberger and the staff here are teaching them at Ketcham. And that is an awesome opportunity. The superintendent will also talk to you about something else we're very proud of, and that is the receipt of a $10.6 million preschool development birth to 5 grant. That's a big deal. And with these funds, we're going to be conducting a statewide assessment of our birth to 5 programs to develop a strategic plan aimed at improving outcomes for families. And recently, in our second term announcement, I announced that I will be creating a coordinating council for from birth to 5 programs in the district and hiring a coordinator to help us advance our birth to 5 goals for families. We'll also use this funding to equip more parents and families with consistent information to improve the quality of our early childhood programs through the purchase of research-based materials for our facilities and schools. So you can see, while we are all very excited about this alignment of our K through 12 or pre-K through 3 through 12 programs with early childhood, and I'm pleased now to introduce the Chancellor, who will, of course, speak on behalf of DCPS, Superintendent Kang, who the Office of the State Superintendent is responsible for our coordination of birth through 3 programs. And then we will hear from the Vice President of Early Learning, who will talk about this program in particular. Chancellor.
Thank you, Mayor. I know we've recognized the leadership of Mayor Bowser previously, but I think we need to do that again. Very few cities are leading the way in early childhood education the way we are here in the District of Columbia. Also to Principal Riddlesberger, it's good to be here with you and to recognize your leadership. I heard loudly and clearly you recognize partnerships are critical to improving student outcomes. And I love the way that you frame this engagement and this collaborative in a way that it will be a thriving partnership for not only the school, but the school community. And you get benefits. These will be your students. So I salute you and I salute your service. Thank you. As we think about the young people next door, the new generation, the next generation of Washingtonians, we know this is a huge boost for the youngest members of the DC community, youngest members of DCPS. And I am thrilled that we have partners that we can reach out to and connect with that will provide these thriving opportunities for the youngest people in our city. And as I think about what's next door, this is a big boost not only for the students and the family, but the quality of life in our city as we are building talent within the district. And so it's my pleasure to start my time in DCPS with this type of work happening, and I look forward to deepening our relationships and our partnerships so we can continue to provide these types of experiences for our youngest people. But also, one point that the mayor mentioned earlier is these opportunities that are convenient for families. We want to ensure that our options for early education are as accessible as possible. So again, thank you for allowing me to start my time in the district in this way, and I'm excited about the opportunities for the young people. At this time, I will turn the floor over to our state superintendent, Hansel Kane. Please join me in welcoming her.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ferebee, and thank you, Mayor Bowser. This is really a truly exciting day. We are so proud of Ketcham Elementary School and the work being done here to serve students and families. We're so thrilled about the opening of this new child development facility and what it will mean for the families in this community. But as the mayor mentioned, we are also thrilled to celebrate the district's receiving a $10.6 million preschool development birth to 5 grant that is going to help us expand these kinds of options across our city and ensure the strong coordination that our families need to make sure they're receiving not only the high quality early care and education that we want for our young children, but also that they are getting access to the health services they need, the dental services they need, and the other types of community supports that make it possible for our young children and our families to thrive. This federal grant is going to help us look at how we can truly provide a coordinated system across all of the different channels we have to support our young children from birth to 5 years old in our childcare centers, among our families, and through community organizations and into school age. We are thrilled that the district will be able to build on the success of My Childcare DC, which allows families to access all of the different licensed childcare providers across the city, and Thrive by 5, which shares a great deal of information already about the services available, building on the success of those 2 sites, and through the work of the new coordinating council, figuring out how we make sure families are aware of and can connect to these new opportunities. I'm so proud that this work is underway already. We look forward to sharing out more about what we are able to build through the use of this federal grant and the positive impact that it's ultimately going to have on the children and families of our city. So with that, it's now my pleasure to introduce such a great partner to our work at OSSI and for the city as a whole, the Vice President of Early Learning at the United Planning Organization, Gail Govani, who's going to be, UPO is operating this new site here at Ketcham.
Thank you. It is such an exciting day for us to begin this community, and it's a team effort of a lot of different agencies coming together to make this happen. We at UPO recognize that early Headstart is the definition of the highest quality educational program for 0 to 3. About 10 years ago, we made an intentional effort to focus all of our funding towards children ages 0 to 3 because of the importance of the first 1,000 days of a child's life. During the first 1,000 days, they need the health, nutrition, the literacy, the experiences, and the social emotional balance that will form the foundation for the rest of their life. And so with that, we are glad to go into another community to begin to work with the families on helping them become a part of their child's educational experiences. We're very happy to be partnering with DCPS. Currently, we operate at 6 high schools where we're providing parenting services and educational experience for the children 0 to 3 while parents are getting their high school diploma. We are at 2 elementary schools where we partner with pre-K 3 and pre-K 4 in providing continuity of care. And now Ketcham will be our 3rd school that we are working with them on. And we are excited to make it a team event of collaboration. All of you must know that UPO is the only community action in DC, and we're excited that for this community, we can provide the economic opportunities to support the families as they grow in this community. Our service center is a block and a half away, and we can provide financial stability, housing stability, good mental and physical health, and a whole array of other services to unite our citizens with opportunities in DC. So again, thank you for welcoming us here, and I look forward to our partnership.
Thank you. Okay, I believe we're going to cut a ribbon, but before we do that, why don't I take any questions from our press and then any community questions? Questions? Yes, sir.
So late last year when the council passed this kind of very ambitious 0 to 3 bill that you signed, how do you think you're going to go about implementing it in this? Obviously, it's a multi-year commitment, but like in this coming budget, what do you think you're going to do?
I'm not talking about our budget yet. I'll tell you why, because we have this process. And part of the process is we go out to the community in February and do our budget engagement forums. And we have 3 of those forums scheduled. Another part of the process is that I hear from all of the agencies, which I'm going through right now. And so each agency will come to me and say, this is what we need for next year. And then the amount of needs is usually a little bit higher than the amount of money. You know how it happens at your house too, right? And so the period between about after our budget engagement forms and I submit to the council is where I have to make some tough decisions. So a lot of the things that the council has passed, they will also go through that process when they get the budget from me at the end of March. And so at the end of that process, I think they will finish in May, June. We will have a balance. We will have a balanced budget. So all of the things that our agencies have identified as priorities, including a very long list from the council, which always exceeds the revenue available, we will. And I don't remember what the fiscal impact. Do you? I know it's very large. So we will work with a lot of the priorities. Sometimes, if we're not able to fund the whole priority, we can pick out some things from year to year. Yes.
Can you explain a bit more how kids, particularly the ones like at the Early Child Center at Ketcham, qualify for these slots?
Sure. Let me ask the superintendent to be specific.
So I can speak to how it works, I think, at some other schools. And Gail, I don't know if you want to speak a little bit more to this site. But traditionally, I think most of the sites that operate at our schools tend to accept subsidy. So it's families who qualify for a child care subsidy. Their eligibility is determined either by the provider or by the Department of Human Services, and then OSSI administers the program. And then we not only support the families with child care options, but also with other coordinated services. Do you want to talk about the placements here?
So as an early Head Start program, of which 3 of the classrooms will be early Head Start, we utilize federal funding that comes directly to us at UPO to provide the services, and we have to have a selection criteria. So the majority of the children that will be enrolled will be living at or below the level of poverty. Will be in foster care. Will be families will be in TANF and SSI.
How do they enroll? Is I think your question in particular.
So the selection criteria will be first in the school. So we'll give preference to the families that have siblings enrolled, and after that, it'll be open to the community.
And just out of curiosity, I mean, you mentioned that UPO runs a couple other schools with the same model. Citywide, how many schools have child care
Elementary
centers?
3, right? I think you have them all. 3.
Do you have a sense that this is a model moving forward over the next, do you think this could expand to other schools in the city?
I think it could. I would be looking for the superintendent for some recommendations. The issue that we have is space. So we already have space constraints in a lot of schools so that we can offer pre-K3 options. And so we have some space constraints in a number of elementary schools. Okay, let's cut the ribbon. Yeah, after that, after we do the ribbon.
Oh, hi, nice to meet you. Yes, yes, welcome. Yes. I didn't know. Yes, nice to meet you.
All right, everybody, watch your fingers, okay? Okay, on the count of 3, you want to do one? All right. 1, 2, 3.